On a cold October night in 1923, the North Atlantic claimed another victim. A massive four-masted schooner, the Governor Parr, was smashed by a hurricane. Her masts snapped like toothpicks, her captain was swept into the abyss, and her crew was forced to abandon her to the waves. Most ships in this condition sink in minutes. But the Governor Parr was different. For the next 2 years, this 900-ton corpse of a ship would wander the ocean as a crewless ghost, defying storms, fires, and even the British Navy. This is the story of the most stubborn shipwreck in history. To understand why she wouldn't sink, you have to look at how she was built. Launched in 1918 in Parisborough, Nova Scotia, the Governor Parr was a masterpiece of Canadian shipbuilding. She was the last of her kind, a giant four-masted wooden schooner painted a brilliant, ghostly white. In 1923, she set sail from Canada bound for Buenos Aires. Her belly was packed with 1.55 million feet of high-grade lumber. This cargo was her mission, but it would soon become her life support system. In the eyes of the ocean, she wasn't just a ship anymore. She was a massive, floating island of wood. On October 3rd, the Atlantic turned violent. A massive gale tore into the Governor Parr. The mizzen and jigger masts, the massive rear poles, shattered under the wind's pressure. In the chaos, a rogue wave swept the deck. Captain Angus Richards and one sailor were gone in an instant, swallowed by the black water. The remaining 6 men lashed themselves to the jagged remains of the masts. For 36 agonizing hours, they watched the ocean swallow their deck. And then, a miracle. A passing American freighter, SS Schodak. At first, it didn't see them. So the survivors did something desperate. They set their own sweaters on fire. When the SS Schodak finally spotted them and pulled them to safety, the rescuers looked back at the Governor Parr and assumed they were looking at a grave. She was waterlogged, broken, and drifting into the dark. This is where the story gets weird. Months passed. In January 1924, a passing steamer reported a terrifying sight: a white, mastless hull drifting silently in the fog. The Governor Parr was alive. The U.S. Coast Guard cutter Tampa found her and tried to tow her to Halifax. But the Parr seemed to fight back. A new storm rolled in, the heavy tow lines snapped like sewing thread, and the ghost of Nova Scotia slipped away into the mist again. Over the next year, she became a maritime legend and a menace. She was spotted near the Virgin Islands. Then, months later, she was thousands of miles away near the Canary Islands off the coast of Africa. She was following the Great Atlantic Gyre, a slow, clockwise conveyor belt of current, moving like a silent sentinel across the world. By August 1924, the British Navy decided she was too dangerous to be left alone. She was a dark hazard, a 200-foot block of wood that could sink any ship that hit her at night. They intercepted her near the African coast and attempted to destroy her the only way they knew how: fire. They doused her in oil and set her ablaze. Sailors watched as the Governor Parr turned into a floating inferno, lighting up the midnight sky for miles. They sailed away, certain she was finally gone. But weeks later, another report came in. A blackened, charred hull had been seen drifting toward the West Indies. The fire had burned her decks, but the water-soaked lumber in her hold had put out the flames from below. She had survived an execution attempt. The last official sighting of the Governor Parr was in October 1925. She had been drifting for over 700 days, covering more than 5,000 miles. Then, she simply vanished. Whether she finally broke apart or found a quiet beach in the Caribbean, no one knows. She remains a testament to the era of sail, a ship built so well that even death couldn't keep her down. Next time you look out at a foggy horizon, remember the Governor Parr. Some ships belong to the men who sail them. Others belong only to the sea.